Scared here. First toy review in a very long time, and it's a pretty fitting review. I've had a lot of people requesting this one during my hiatus once I acquired this figure, and now with the camera I'm out of excuses. We're going to talk about Takara's Beast Wars 2 Ikard with the Tako tank. This is one of the exclusive Beast figures that they did, like the Transmetal Ravage. There's this one, and then there's a third one whose name escapes me right now, but these two do come packaged together. Ikard here is Scuba's cousin, Scuba being the little Humboldt squid member of the Maximal team. His job simply is to deliver supplies, weapons, etc. to the Maximals, wherever they might be. And within the show, the episode that he appears, he is delivering the Tako tank to the Maximals. I don't believe he was on any other episodes. I've only seen a handful of episodes of Beast Wars 2, to be honest. But when researching this for a little bit of background, that was the only reference to the show that I found about him. So there's a lot going on, so I'm just going to dive straight into this. So obviously this is the beast mode is a Humboldt squid. This mold has 3 color variations. There's the original Scuba, there's this one, and then there's a Transmetal one. Scuba's pinks and oranges. The Transmetal one is a dark blue chrome with little lime circuitry accents. This one, however, I think of the 3 is the most successful. I think it fits with the theme of this being a sea creature better than the other 2, with the pearlescent white. Then you've got the cool tones with the purple and the blues. And just the little accent of those 2 yellow squid eyes just really make it. I think this is just a very successful color scheme for this particular mold. It's also got a couple of interesting gimmicks or design elements to it in the squid mode, and then also in the robot mode. If you lift these up, you have the beak of the squid here, and on the back is this little lever that when you press that in, the beak will open like this, so it has this little biting attack. It's a fun little gimmick. The other thing that this does, which, one of the things that I never really liked about this mold originally before I acquired this was, it's a squid, it's just going to lay there. But what this allows you to actually do is give it a little tripod action here. It gives it an extra leg to help pose it, to help prop it up. So that, if you are choosing to display this guy in his beast mode, he'll have some life to him. He'll be pretty dynamic. He's not just going to lay there. This is a basic, so transformation's pretty simple here. Your robot arms are already done. These 2 tentacles here. The legs are the hood here of the squid, and all you're going to do is raise this up, rotate it, separate them. Here at the knee, you want to rotate the bottom half of the leg a 1/4 of a turn at the knee so they're facing forward, and just flip his little feet up. Okay, now the body's mostly done. All we got to do now, take these 2 tentacles, drop those down, take these 2 pieces, bring these around like so, and pop his head up, rotate it around, and you're good to go. There's his robot mode. So very simple. But again, the color scheme, I think, it's just great for this mold. And then these little tentacles hide the squid eyes, but then they bring that detail of those bright yellow eyes up here onto the robot. It was a nice touch. There's a little blue piece here on the back that can detach, and then you just peg it in here on the tentacle. It gives him a little melee weapon, like so. Like I said, the gimmick does work for the beak there. Also, up underneath here on the tentacles is the Maximal rub sign, which I don't know if you can make that out, but that's where his little rub sign is at. And that is Ikard. Now, there's one negative to this mold, however, is that, and it could just be mine because his feet are a little bit loose. These 2 pieces here, these tentacles, You know, when you bring them back, either out over the shoulder like this, or if you bring them back a little bit more, which I kind of like to sweep them back a little bit more like that. The top half is pretty heavy, and it's a little difficult to pose, a little difficult to get them to stand up. Every once in a while, I'll get them, but it's not very dynamic. It's not very interesting. He's actually kind of leaning forward a little bit, so that would probably be the only negative. Outside of that, I think this is a great figure. The tank, there is a lot going on here. The Tako tank, you know, appears in the show and is one of the Maximal's main weapons against Galvatron. However, he does make 2 comic book appearances in Dreamwave's Infestation. There is an EDC soldier who finds, I guess, a little mini Tako tank and is referring to him as a GoBot. And then also later on in IDW's The Ascension, Beast Wars The Ascension, Scuba with the Tako tank is leading a big group of crazed Maximals and Predacons, you know, crushing through a wall. There's a panel where he comes barreling through this wall with all these other characters behind him. So he has a couple more appearances than Ikard. The tank itself is comprised mostly of pearlescent plastic. There's very few paint apps here. Most all of this is just sculpted plastic, and it has this pearlescent finish to it. The tentacles back here are solid. You know, they have this nice organic curve, but that's basically all they do, in and out, all 3 of those. The front tentacles here are a softer, more flexible rubber material, very similar to, well, basically the same as the tail on Transmetal to Megatron. There's more to those. I'll get to that in just a second. You have a lot of transparent plastic as well. These windows here with just the blue. However, there's some nice details underneath it, so you know you're not just looking at nothing. The whole mantle here is transparent red. However, they've underpainted it with silver, which is good because you know that helps bring out the cybernetic details here. And then you do have a little bit of paint. This section here, painted silver. You got this metallic aqua blue painted in here, and then this pearlescent white just at the top of those tentacles there. Many features here. The top part of the tank does rotate all the way around. Here in the eyes, you know, I mentioned there's some little details underneath there. It's a very small little thing, but it gives some life to this figure. There's a little wheel here on the side. I believe there's one on this side as well that you can rotate. They'll rotate these little silver painted lights underneath that transparent plastic that gives it some life. Like I said, it's a very small little thing, little detail, but it's nice to have. There's no wheels. It doesn't roll or anything like that. So, you know, it's a squid. It's not going to roll. It's going to move on its tentacles. These front tentacles, as you probably just saw, do have a gimmick to them. There's these black handles here on the back are attached and allow you to get some action here. You can actually move them up and down or side to side. And they do have a pretty good grip. You know, you can take a small figure, wrap him around in that tentacle. You know, I could just imagine when kids got this, just the hours of fun putting their figures in there, just having the Tako tank just whip them back and forth and bash them around. And it holds on pretty well. Holds on pretty well. I mean, you got to hold this still, but that's a nice little detail. There's one other little gimmick here. He has a water cannon here in the mouth. Underneath there's a little groove right here, and inside that spot, this little piece right here in the middle, you can actually fill with water, insert it into that groove, and then this piece right here you can press in to depress this piece and actually shoots water, a little water gun, which is a fun little gimmick. I leave these in the bag because I will lose that in a heartbeat, so that's why I'm not demonstrating or having it out. So exterior, that's the gimmicks, but we're not done there. You can pop open the mantle like so. It becomes this little gun platform. Here in the center you have these two pieces. I'll get to what those are a little bit more here in a second. You flip those down, and then you can bring out these cannons for the missiles in here. Ikard, Scuba, and probably any other small little basic figure along these lines do fit in here. Not well, but they do. I mean, there's nothing to kind of lock them into place. They just kind of plop it down in there, like so. Oops, that little piece is coming off. Okay, it's not great. He just kind of lays down on his stomach, but he does fit. But as you can see, not very well. That's a slight negative on this particular figure, but it's not that big of a deal. But we're still not done. This piece right here can actually detach to become this little VTOL hover attack pod. Excuse me. Nothing more than that. I mean, that's very basic. But then we don't stop there. If you don't want the pod, that's fine. Just take this piece, rotate it up like this, bring this around. Now you got an attack bike. There's just so much going on this figure. He has so many options. So, just kind of put this guy back in here. So there is tons of playability with this figure, and it's for the Beast Wars fan or the non-Beast Wars fan. You won't be disappointed because, like I said, there's so many things that you can do here. So he's a little hard to come by. I got a little lucky several months ago, but I can't recommend him enough. So that's it for my first figure review in a very long time. Hopefully it worked out. If you have any questions, if you feel like I missed anything, please comment. Leave me, constructive criticism. I don't mind. And of course, subscribe if you feel inclined to. And thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk to you later.